This week, we're headed back to the land of unsolved true crime. This time, it's the Texarkana Moonlight murders, where a string of attacks left 5 people dead and a bunch of questions to be asked. Listener discretion is always advised. All aboard the Midnight Train. Hello, passengers, and welcome to the Midnight Train, where, of course, we bring the dark to light. We make fun of and joke about creepy stuff while bringing you as much information on each topic as possible, but you knew that. That's why you're here, unless you're new. And if you're new, keep in mind we are a comedy podcast, and things can get pretty dark, so if you're not into that, listen, give it a chance, but if you don't like it, it's fine. We don't need to hear any tweets about it. It's completely cool. Thanks for being just as twisted and screwed up as us if you happen to stay. So I am your host, the conductor of the cryptic, Jonathan Sayre. And with me today, back in the co-host chair, it's Mr. Moody.
Yeah. How's it going, buddy?
Oh, man. You know, it's going.
Wait, is this a surprise you were talking about?
This was the surprise.
I'm the surprise.
Supplies.
I've never been a surprise before.
You are now. Well, you
I mean, it's like in a good way.
Oh, were you a surprise to your mother at all?
Maybe.
Or were you planned?
I don't know.
Oh.
Those are the questions that you don't ask.
I was planned.
My son wasn't.
Yeah. Most of mine
need to know that, though.
Weren't either. It's okay. I mean, they all were. Of course they were.
Sure.
Now, listen, our Patreon bonus for this week is going to be, it's going to be on the Archives of Terror, which it's just insane. It's something Logan sent over, and it seems pretty cool. So make sure you guys stick around for that. Also, bonus episodes for with the behind the scenes for the Icons and Outlaws is up. And yes, Icons and Outlaws, the podcast, the music podcast, you can actually go and subscribe to that everywhere you listen to podcasts. Right now, there's a teaser and a trailer up for it, and episodes will be dropping. In fact, 4 of them are going to drop all at one time.
Ooh.
Here within the next month or so.
4?
So we're just going to save the rest of the business stuff until the end. Let's get into this. Let's turn down the lights, adjust our seats, grab a drink. It's coffee. And let's get spooky. Well, I didn't say what's in the coffee. Yeah. But first, here's a toast. All you beautiful motherfuckers. I'm the fire starter.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's fancy.
So many layers.
It's fancy. All right. So listen, Moody, do you know anything about the Texarkana Moonlight murders?
Very little.
Very little.
I know that they were crazy.
Yeah.
And I know, I know a little bit about it. I did a little bit of looking a while ago about these, but I never got into it too far.
I'll tell you this much.
Please do.
Before we even get into this.
Okay.
This whole thing is a fucking mess.
It's a mess.
It's a mess.
Okay.
And I'm not just talking, I'm talking from every aspect of it. It's a mess.
We talking about the murders or the podcast?
Yes. Well, we know about the podcast, but this whole series of events, like even the murders themselves, horrible, obviously, because people died. Obviously. The attacks, horrible as well. The investigation,
bumbling idiots.
Yeah, well, is it the usual fucking? It's what is it? The late 40s in Texarkana, in the area, that whole area. You know what I mean? And then like even the suspects, none of it. You'll as we go through this.
Okay, hold on. So you said it was mid 40s,
late 40s,
late 40s.
Yes,
Texarkana area.
Yeah,
they just blamed all the black people, didn't
they? Actually, no. It's quite kind of the opposite, but not in a good way.
Oh,
yeah, we'll talk about it.
That's honestly that surprises me.
Yeah, it surprised me. You'll see.
All right.
So the Texarkana Moonlight murders were a series of murders in the spring of 1946, where 8 people were attacked, 5 of which were unfortunately murdered. Similar to the Zodiac and the Monster of Florence, the attacker focused on male-female couples. Also similar to those cases, the attacker has never been caught. Yeah, that's why it's unsolved and why we're doing it.
Where's the dun-dun-dun for that?
Oh, wait. Is it this one?
Yeah,
there it is.
There you go.
I always get it mixed up with. It is all,
generally, it's the same thing.
The same thing, yeah. All right, so first off, what the hell is Texarkana, you're probably asking? Well, that's not a state I've ever heard of, right?
Yeah.
Right. And you would be correct.
Yeah.
Because it's not.
I've never heard of it.
Okay. Really?
Right.
You've never heard of Texarkana?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
I lived in Louisiana, bro.
Oh, yeah. So you're very familiar with it. So Texarkana began as a railroad and lumber center and is considered the two-county area between Texarkana, Arkansas in Miller County and Texarkana, Texas in Bowie County.
Okay.
And according to the U.S. Office of Management and Budget, the Texarkana Metropolitan Statistical Area, or MSA, as they call it, has the area with right around 137,000 people living in it as of the 2020 census.
Okay. So it's not overly huge, but not small by any means.
Yeah, it's not a small spot, but not a big spot.
Right.
The Red River Army Depot and Lone Star Ammunition Plant seem to drive the jobs to the area.
Lone Star.
Lone Star. What is it? Raspberry.
Only one man would dare give me the raspberry.
So this basically started mainly due to what kind of thing happened in the 1940s where army depots would need to stock up ammunition, do you think?
That's a good question. A lot of circuses were starting up then.
Yes.
Yeah.
With Midgetvilles.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah, I remember the Midgetvilles.
Go back and listen to that episode, people.
I'm going to go with World Wars, though. For 500, Alex.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
Of course, World War II was happening at the time, so we were trying to stockpile as much as we possibly could. So it was founded in 1873 and has 3 possibilities of how it acquired its name. What?
Wait a minute. They don't even know how the name came about?
They actually have no idea.
So when you said this is a mess.
I'm telling you.
We're already there.
Correct. We're about 6 minutes in.
They don't even know how it got its name.
Correct. And you're talking about 2 separate places in 2 separate states with the same name.
Interesting.
Right across from each other. Like, you know what I mean? It's like me sitting from you and I just decided to call myself Moody.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't do that, but I'm just saying.
I would hope not. Yeah. That would be terrible for you.
So first, their thought is that there was a Red River steamboat that tugged around the area named the Texarkana, and the settlers just liked the name.
I mean, it's a fun thing to say.
Right, Texarkana.
Yeah,
that's good. Second, a storekeeper named Swindle from Louisiana made up a drink called Texarkana Bitters, and the settlers were a bunch of drunks who liked the name. You know, kind of, I like that one. That's my favorite so far.
He's a store owner.
Yes.
And
his name is Swindle. Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Told you, mess.
All right. So that's option 2.
That's 2.
What is option 3?
Third, it was named by railroad surveyor Colonel Gus Noble, who took one look out his front door and said, well, there's Texas over there.
Yeah.
Arkansas over there.
Over there.
And Louisiana down there.
Like that way.
I got it. Arkanixania. And then he thought, no, that's not going to work. Then he thought,
that's a mouthful.
Right. Then he's like, I got it. Louis Asslexis. No, that didn't work either. And then he said yes.
Getting better.
Texarkana. So it's Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana.
Yeah, okay.
All right. The area is also home to the Fouke Monster.
The what now?
The Fouke Monster.
How's that spelled?
Fouke.
You're going to go with Fouke, huh?
Fouke. What do you think, Fauci? Isn't that the guy that tells us to stay indoors?
Fauci.
Isn't that his name? Oh, that's Fauci.
Oh,
sorry.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
So the Fouke Monster.
He's a monster as well.
Yeah. Which resides in Boggy Creek and seems to be their version of the one and only Sasquatch.
Oh, he's a Sam Squatch.
Yeah, so you being down there, you never heard of the Fouke Monster?
I have not actually heard of that.
And I'm probably pronouncing it incorrectly.
It seems like a very local, it's got to be a localized, kind of like the Ohio grassman, you know, that kind of thing. It's good, or the skunk ape in Florida.
Well, you know what it is, Louisiana. I wonder if it's Fouke Monster. Da Fouke Monster. Y'all like that Fouke? All right. All right. So, yes, they have their own Sasquatch.
I like it. I'm going to have to check that out.
Yes, the Fouke.
Look into that.
Fouke.
Surprised I don't know that.
So the 4 violent attacks took place from February to May of 1946, which doesn't really sound like spring, but it's getting close to it, I guess. Well, spring starts in March, right?
It just started.
Yeah.
The 20th.
Oh, yeah. Happy spring, everybody.
Spring has fucking sprung.
And it's actually kind of beautiful outside today.
Oh, it's actually, yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
Very nice.
I like it.
I think it's
Actually,
I think it's mid-50s right now.
I hate it. I just wish it was raining in mid-50s. That's my
Really?
thing. Yeah,
Like
that's
rain?
me. Oh yeah, I'm a dismal.
Rain's good for sleeping.
I'm brooding. I'm a brooding kind of person.
You're
So the attacker had his sights set on couples.
You take the eyeliner off the man.
That's right. There's a reason I used to paint my nails black. It's like my soul. So, of course, he was looking for couples, all right? Male and female couples, to be exact, although focusing on gay couples would have made the area and the attacker quite progressive for the time. Or much worse, depending on which way you look at it. I'm just saying. Let me think about it. It's the 1940s. If he's like, hey, I'm just going to kill the gay folk, you know what I mean? Like, see, that sounds bad. But then he's like, equal opportunity. I'm just going to kill the gay folk then. You know what I mean? No, none of that sounds good, does it?
No, it's terrible.
Yeah. Okay. Well, whatever. He didn't do that. So the first attack was on Friday, February 22nd of 1946, right around 11:45 at night.
Working for the weekend, huh?
Yeah. Well, you'll hear about that too. This is kind of it's part of his MO.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I know more than I thought.
See? 25-year-old Jimmy Hollis and his 19-year-old girlfriend, Mary Jean Larry, decided to head to Lover's Lane after seeing a movie together.
Mary Jean Larry?
Mary Jean Larry. Yeah, she has 3 first names. Yes.
and one of them's a guy's name.
And one of them's a guy. Well,
right.
it's Larry, Larey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a little better, I guess.
Maybe it's Laurie and it's just spelled weird.
Larry?
Yeah, I don't know. It's Larry. I don't know. Whatever. So I'm not sure what movie they went to see, but it was probably either Song of the South, The Stranger, or Strangler of the Swamp.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah, it's an old.
Were those all playing at the time?
Those were all playing in theaters in that area at that time.
It was probably Song of the South.
I just think it'd be really fucked up if it was Strangler of the Swamp and they're the ones that got attacked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Orchestra, I don't know.
Regardless, after the movie, they wanted to do some necking and proceeded to park at Lover's Lane, which was about 300 feet past the last row of houses in that area.
Was it actually a Lover? Did they call Lover's Lane?
Yeah, it was a spot that all the kids kind of went to afterwards. And hey there, dame, you want to go and do some necking? I just got my Ford.
I happened to see your ankles earlier, and I'm a little randy.
I really like that I can see your right ear. So 10 minutes later, as they were sitting in the secluded and dark area, probably talking about how the moon was made of cheese, a flashlight suddenly shined through Jimmy's driver's side window.
Okay.
As he looked up, all he could see was a figure resembling a man with a white cloth mask and eye holes cut out, standing outside his door.
Was it like the KKK?
Kind of. They said the mask was said to look more like a pillowcase with eye holes and a mouth hole in it.
So like the original Jason before he got his hockey mask.
Yes, which is frightening if you think about that. If you just looked up and saw that with a flashlight.
I wonder if that's where they got that from.
Maybe. Except back then it's cheat. Ha, ha, ha. See. Kill. Jimmy, thinking that this was just a joke, told the guy to fuck off and that he had the wrong car. To which the man said, quote, I don't want to kill you, fella.
Oh.
Fella. Isn't that great?
There it is, dude.
So do what I say. And he literally, that's what he
do what I say.
Yeah.
I don't want to kill you,
Get
fella.
out of here, you little shit. So the masked man then ordered Jimmy and his girlfriend, Mary Jean, out of the car through the driver's door when the man yelled, quote, take off your goddamn britches. He told this to Jimmy.
Boy. Oh, he told.
This is to the guy.
Okay.
The order was directed at Jimmy, and as soon as he was doing what the terrified man said to do, the attacker pulled out a pistol and cracked Jimmy in the head twice.
So he got bludgeoned while taking his pants off.
Correct. He got cracked.
All right.
Later on, Mary Jean would say that the sound of him hitting Jimmy was so loud, she thought they were gunshots. Instead, those sounds were actually Jimmy's skull fracturing.
Ooh.
Yeah. It hurt.
So is he victim number one?
No, surprisingly. No. Yeah, we'll talk about that. He is not. Yeah.
All right.
Actually,
good job, Jimmy.
Yeah. Strong guy. Strong. Very young
strong
man.
1940s, like Captain America.
He's like, son of a bitch, that hurt. Rightfully so, Mary Jean assumed the dude with the gun was trying to rob them.
Okay.
She grabbed Jimmy's wallet and showed the man that he was broke as a joke. When the man smacked her in the head with a blunt object, presumably the gun handle or flashlight, but later on she said when she said that he hit her, that it was like a pipe. But
where'd that come from?
Exactly. He had a flashlight, which if you think about it back then, those
could have been a flashlight.
That's what I'm
saying. Could have been the end of the flashlight.
That's what he had. Or maybe the gun handle. Who knows?
Yeah.
The attacker told her to get on her feet. And as she stood up, he told her to run. Run, rabbit, run.
Okay. So is he letting her go then? Or is this like...
Okay. Remember how you mentioned Jason?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, she took off running down, toward a ditch, but the man yelled at her and told her to run up the road. Hey, you're going the wrong way. Not toward the ditch, woman. Where are you going? Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
So Mary Jean hightailed it up the road and spotted a car, but there was nobody inside.
All right.
Then as she turned around and like she was magically whisked away to an 80s slasher flick, the attacker was standing right there in front of her, asking her why she was running.
Wait, what?
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense, right? I told you. This thing's a mess. For some reason, I don't know.
Hit her pretty hard.
Yeah, that part just freaks me out. The whole thing, maybe he's obviously toying with her, or maybe, because I was traumatized by Friday the 13th as a child. But either way, it's that whole he stands there and you turn around and he's there thing.
Yeah.
Like I just watched the new Halloween Kills.
How is it?
Horrible.
No?
Horrible. Oh my God. Really? It's not as bad as the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I've heard nothing good about that one.
It is shit.
Okay.
It is absolute shit. And if you're listening to this right now, I'm sorry, but your taste sucks if you like it.
Okay.
I'm just saying. It's a horrible movie. Okay. And if you disagree with me, I don't want to hear about it. I'm just kidding. I would like to know if you can
bombard him with this.
Yeah, if you could give me actual reasoning to why you like it without being like...
Yeah, I know nothing about it.
It was well written because it wasn't. Cinematography was great. Nope.
Wow.
Storyline was nope. None of it, dude. There was nothing to that movie.
Was it like a remake of the original, or is it like a...
No,
like
it's its own thing. It's kind of like a continuance.
Okay.
So, and spoiler here, I don't know if you're going to see it if you care to watch it or not.
Care.
So spoiler, and then just talking about the storyline too.
It was the butler, wasn't it?
You did see it.
I did.
Oh. So this young guy decides to buy this little town in the middle of nowhere and wants to like start selling off for retail to places like high-end bougie shit.
Uh-huh.
But yet there's nothing else around the area. So why people would go to this little fucking town to begin with to go buy stuff.
So that doesn't make sense right off the rip.
Correct. Doesn't make any sense. And then they go in because he basically bought the entire town.
Yeah.
It's basically like if you look at Wellington.
Yeah.
The downtown Wellington, that's what it supposedly looked like.
Okay.
And then they go into this house and this old lady's there. Well, it's the old lady from the Texas Chainsaw, like the original ones.
Oh.
Like the mom.
Yeah.
And she can't breathe. And they're like, you got to get out of here. And all of a sudden, the freaking dude that plays Leatherface comes walking downstairs and they get her out of there and she dies in the ambulance because she's having like some fucking whatever. And of course, that just kicks him off and he just kills everybody.
Should have just done that in the first place.
But first of all, why were you in the fucking house in this little fucking town? Because if you remember, they didn't live in a town.
No, they didn't.
So I don't know if they were
The house was like in the middle of a field.
Right. Or maybe they were displaced and moved to this little fucking place and I don't know. None of it made sense. Anyway, if you guys watch that movie, now maybe you should watch it just so you can see how bad it is. And then you can hate your life as much as I do. Sorry.
Why do you hate these people's lives?
No, not their life. Mine after
they
watching
didn't do anything to you.
God, it was so horrible. Fuck. So sorry. So anyway, she, of course, turned around and responded to the man by telling him that he had told her to run. Obviously, he said run. And then this set him off and he yelled at her and just said, liar.
Oh my God. Dude.
He then knocked her to the ground.
That is like grade A level fucking mind fuck.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Well, now, okay, and we'll get to what I think about her in a second here.
Right.
So he yelled liar, and then he knocked her to the ground and proceeded to sexually assault her with the barrel of the pistol.
Ew.
Ugh. Yeah. After the assault, Mary Jean gathered herself up and ran to a house nearby where she banged on the door, waking the residents who then helped her call the police.
So he just left her there?
Yes.
He didn't even try to kill her?
No.
Interesting.
Yeah. Keep that in your... Just keep... mess.
I'm
mess, right yes. You taking notes?
Is that what you're doing? Spot right here in the back of my head.
Nice. That's a bump.
It might be cancer.
So during this time or shortly after, Jimmy had regained consciousness and flagged on a passing car who ran and called the police as well. So yeah, Jimmy actually got up. It's not like he...
This fucking guy.
Yeah.
Skull and everything?
Yeah.
Wow.
So Bowie County Sheriff Presley and in fact, I believe his name's Bill Presley. Yep. And 3 other officers arrived on the scene short of 30 minutes, but the attacker was nowhere to be found. He just hightailed it out of there. Mary Jean spent the night in the hospital for her head wound, and Jimmy was there for several days. And in fact, from what I read, it might have been closer to 2 weeks.
I was going to say several days. That's it.
Yeah, with the multiple skull fractures.
Yeah.
So now, when asked to give detailed descriptions of their attacker, Jimmy and Mary Jean had slightly different details.
Okay.
Okay. Well, they
Sure.
both agreed that he was around 6 foot tall.
All right.
But Mary Jean claimed that she could see under the man's mask and that he was a light-skinned black man.
There it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there it is.
All right.
Yeah, there's the first one. Jimmy, however, said the guy was a tanned white man.
Oh, okay.
Which, if you think about that, like if all you can
Tanned
see
white man
versus a light-skinned black man, there's not a whole lot of variation there unless you can see actual like facial features.
Yeah.
But even then, you know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like someone's splitting hairs there.
Yeah.
So they said he was a tan white man around 30 years old, but couldn't really see more than that due to the flashlight being blared in his face. So of course the guy's got it. And plus,
it's like when you get pulled over and you get the fucking flashlight.
And well, they do that to disorient you anyway. But I mean, you got this.
Your best bet's just to pull off.
This is. I'm showing him what it would look like right now. You can just see my lips and my eyes.
You can't really tell from that.
It's a good look for you, by the way.
Thank you. Looked like a butthole right there. So the police continuously questioned Mary Jean's account of the attack, and they believe that the couple knew their attacker and were just covering for him.
Really?
Yeah.
Why the fuck would you cover for someone that just fucking fractured your skull?
Well, could it have been a jilted ex of Mary Jean's? Why? Is that why Jimmy was pistol whipped and she only had a minor injury?
Why wouldn't she say something?
Well, is this why she said it was a black man instead of giving up the perpetrator's real identity? Did she try to throw them off that way? You know what I mean?
Couldn't they have just looked at her exes and found a really tan one and been like, hey,
you work in the field, right? Oh, I didn't mean like that. Oh, that sounded bad. Oh, no. I meant like farmers is what I meant. Farmers back then. Ooh.
I instantly regret coming back on the show.
I immediately regret pressing play or record on this thing. It's not what I meant. I meant like a farmer because my grandfather was a farmer and his skin was always leathery and just dark. God, but his hands could crush a freaking bowling ball. I swear to God. Strong.
And sand your wood down.
Correct. Yeah. With just his elbows. So the morning of Sunday, March 24th, 1946. Okay, this is on to the next one here.
Yeah.
A passing motorist saw a parked car on Lover's Lane just south of the highway and decided to check if they needed.
Same Lover's Lane?
Yes.
Okay.
To check if, they needed help or just to be nosy or whatever. Notice Sunday, March 24th. So it's the weekend still.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What they first believed to be two people asleep in their vehicle turned out to be the lifeless bodies of 29-year-old Richard Griffin and his girlfriend, 17-year-old Polly Ann Moore. Yeah, I know. I wanted to get into it, but I'm not gonna. Whatever.
Okay. Well, at any rate, they're never just sleeping, by the way.
Correct. Just like it's never a mannequin. Right. Richard was found shot twice on his knees between the front seats. Hands crossed, his head laying on his hands, and his pockets turned inside out.
He was on his knees in the car?
Yes.
Okay.
Right. You're picking it up. That's good. Polly Ann was lying face down in the back seat with evidence suggesting they had both been murdered outside of the car and then placed there.
Oh, okay.
A blood-soaked patch of soil and congealed blood on one of the running boards as it appeared to have flowed out from the bottom of the car door were found.
That's a 40s thing, running boards?
Yeah. On cars.
On cars?
Yeah, absolutely. That's amazing. They were both fully clothed and both had been shot in the back of the head, and a .32 caliber shell was found, and investigators believed it may have been fired from a pistol wrapped in a blanket.
Like a silencer type deal?
Yeah, I believe that's that's what they're going for, unless you're trying to like not have fingerprints, but back in the 40s, did they even think of, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
none of that makes sense to me. There were no pathologist examinations of the body, which seems odd. But 1946 Texarkana, I guess, there was no pathology reports or whatever. This didn't stop the rumors from flying around saying that Polly Ann had been sexually assaulted. These rumors, however, were put to rest with later reports. She was not sexually assaulted.
Well, that's good, I guess.
Okay, so now, I'll keep going. 17-year-old Paul Martin picked up this is the third one, picked up his 15-year-old girlfriend, Betty Jo Booker, from the local VFW.
These names.
Yeah. Betty Jo Booker. She was a looker. So the VFW, if you're not familiar, is the Veterans of Foreign War, and it's an establishment, basically like a bar or whatever, that's set up for former military personnel who had fought in wars and
used to have really cool DIY metal and hardcore shows at VFWs.
What's cool about it is that they're not under since it's a private club, it's not actually under the same guidelines as like my bar is.
I know.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. You can still smoke in some of them.
Should we make yours private?
I would love to.
You got a private bar?
I would love to. I'd be that guy, like, he can't come in. Why is that? I don't like the way he looks.
I don't like the cut of his jib.
Yeah, I don't like the cut of his jib. So he picked her up after a musical performance on Sunday, April 14th.
This is 17. Is another 17-year-old.
17-year-old,
Okay.
yeah. Right around 1:30 in the morning is when he picked her up after this performance. She was actually a saxophone player in the performance they had going on.
Very
there.
nice.
Yeah. So later at approximately 6:30 that morning, Paul's lifeless body was found on the side of a nearby road, lying on its left side.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. His body had been riddled with bullet holes through his nose, through his ribs from the back, through his right hand, and one through the back of his neck. That's a lot.
So the right hand was probably one of these, like, no, don't shoot me.
Right. Exactly.
Put his hand up and
then so that, oh my God.
That's the same one that went through his nose. Like, he was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, maybe. Ugh.
So that was what, 4 shots?
Let's see. Nose, back, right hand, back of his neck. Yes.
So probably 3 shots because you figure the back of the hand.
Well, depending on what type of bullet. Well, I guess, I guess it just depends on how close they are. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. There could be a bunch of variables there. But
Anyway,
that would make sense.
He got shot the fuck up.
He got shot hard. Yeah, that bad. Overkill. So investigators found blood on the opposite side of the road, leading them to believe that he was allegedly alive when he crossed the road after being shot 4 times.
Crawl over there or something?
Yeah, he was shot 4 times, by the way.
4? Okay, okay. Must have just been a bad shot.
But still, that's pow, 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 pow. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Paul's girlfriend, Betty Jo, was found at approximately 11:30 a.m. by a search party. Her body was lying almost 2 miles away from Paul's, hidden behind a tree. She was fully clothed, laying on her back with her right hand inside the pocket of the buttoned-up overcoat she was wearing.
Her hand was in her pocket.
In her pocket.
Okay.
Yeah. She had been shot twice, once in the face, and the other shot went through her chest.
Seems so personal, dude. Shooting someone in the face.
Absolutely. That's rough. According to investigators, the weapon used was a .32 caliber Colt pistol, the same pistol type used in the first set of murders.
Okay.
And again, we don't know when the first attack.
Did they match the bullet? So the ones that shot the dude is the same one that shot her. Is that what they're saying?
Yes.
So
yeah, they're at least at this point that's what they believe.
Okay.
And again, we don't know what type
they're
of
saying
gun
they
had.
think it was the same one as the first, same kind as the first one.
Correct.
All right.
And but since there were no bullets fired in the first attack, they have no idea what kind of gun that was.
Right.
And keep that in mind too. Keep that first attack.
Somebody's fucking skull.
Keep that first attack in mind though, because as we go through this, and we'll talk more obviously as we go through this, but you'll see. So Paul's car wasn't found near his body, but instead was found 3 miles away from where his body was found.
He was here.
Mm-hmm.
The girl was 2 miles away, and the car was 3 miles away. Like on the same direction as the girl, do they say?
Yeah, it didn't give me.
Like, did he steal the car and drive the girl somewhere else and then dump the car?
Yeah, it doesn't say. You know what I'm thinking? Maybe he dumped her as he was going to dump the car.
Yeah. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Or maybe she was alive and then he took her somewhere else and killed her.
Ooh, that's even worse.
Like, threw her in the back seat and.
Yeah, maybe.
Pipe down, you dizzy broad.
Yeah. Ugh, it sucks. So again, 3 miles away, the car was actually sitting parked with the keys in the ignition at Spring Lake Park.
Okay.
Yeah. The investigators could not determine if Paul or Betty Jo had been shot first.
Okay.
So I'm assuming then that there probably wasn't blood in the car then.
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I'm saying I wonder if he shot the dude, threw her in the car, drove away, and killed her somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't know. According to
the car,
possibly. According to the sheriff and Captain Manuel Gonzalez of the Texas Rangers, their investigations determined that both of the victims put up a hell of a fight.
What was his batting average that year?
Well, Gonzalez?
Yeah.
Manuel Gonzalez?
Yeah, what was his batting average with the Rangers?
3. No, not those Rangers. The actual Texas Rangers. Like the police down there.
Oh.
If you're unfamiliar with, by the way, with Texas and or
so he was
United
hanging
States.
out with Chuck Norris.
Yeah, Walker. Yeah.
Okay.
So Texas actually has its own law enforcement down there, and it basically spans the entire state.
Texas don't fuck around, dude.
And because Texas is fucking huge.
It is.
It's huge. It's ginormous. It's literally like 4 Ohio's.
It's annoying as fuck to drive.
It sucks.
I remember I love it down there. I think it was that tour we did. I remember we hit Texas and I fell asleep and I woke up God knows when later. I'm like, where are we at? And they're like, we're in Texas. I'm like, wait a minute. It was like 7 or 8 hours later. I'm like, what?
Right.
And we weren't even close to being through Texas. We still had 3 more hours to go. It's fucking dumb.
Same thing happened to me. It's like you fall asleep. You're like, hey, where are we? Still in Texas. Son of a bitch.
So bad, dude.
Yeah, it's just such a big state.
It's such a buzzkill, though.
Yeah.
Because normally you fall asleep and you get through 4 states by the time you wake up.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So on Friday, May 3rd in the same year, around 9 at night, 37-year-old Virgil Starks and his wife Katie were in their home set on a 500-acre farm.
Was she 17?
No, she was, I don't have her age in here. She might have been. I don't know. It's possible. Now, I'm pretty sure there's a few movies based on similar events such as this. Someone's sitting at home on their 500-acre farm and somebody comes in and...
500 acres?
500 acre. That's a lot.
That's a hell of a farm.
That is a big farm. Absolutely. So their home was just off the local highway 67 East, which was about 10 miles northeast of Texarkana. Now, keep in mind what I just said. They were at home.
Yeah.
They were in their 30s.
In their 30s.
We think. We hope.
Maybe.
In their farm or whatever. And okay.
Yeah, just hanging out at home.
Right. All right.
All right.
And it was, however.
What day was this?
It was on a Friday.
Friday.
Ah.
All right.
Virgil was just sitting quietly in his armchair in the living room. He was reading some quality information from his local newspaper when suddenly he was shot twice in the back of the head from a closed double window behind him.
Okay, so they shot him through the window.
Yeah.
They didn't even open it.
Right. Again, keep all these little things in mind here that just...
Okay.
With all the ruckus and the sound of broken glass, Katie hurriedly ran into the living room to see her husband stand up and then slowly slump back into the armchair he was sitting in. Now listen, before I go into this, just remember how we always talk about how women, the powerful women out there and just the badass women out there.
Yeah, man.
You're about to be introduced to another one.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Katie.
She went to check on her husband, only to realize he was dead. In a panic, she quickly went to the old school style wall crank phone to call the police.
Oh, so it took her 4 hours to call him.
Click, 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 click. Extension 213, sir. There's been a murder. With 2 rings of the phone, she was also shot twice from the same damn window.
Damn.
This time in the face.
In the face?
She fell to the floor, but to the shooter's dismay, she quickly regained her footing and rushed to grab a pistol from another room. Let's just say, again, badass, right? With the wounds she suffered, she was blinded by her own blood and was not able to grab the pistol she was looking for. Hearing the sound of the killer quickly approaching from the back of the house, she burst out the front door with only her nightgown on and ran barefoot across the street to her brother and sister-in-law's house.
Damn!
After trying to get someone to come to the door and being unsuccessful, she took off down the street to her neighbor's house, A.V. Prater, where she was only able to get a loud gasp out saying, "Virgil's dead." And then she fell over and passed out. Prater proceeded to fire his rifle into the air to alert another neighbor, Elmer Taylor. I know, Elmer Taylor. I know, it's just...
Not only that, it's just like, hey, someone go get Elmer. All right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because the phone takes 5 hours to make a phone call. You know what I mean?
Elmer's like, oh, what? Oh.
Do you hear that?
Sounds like someone's been shot.
I think they need help.
That's the help gun.
Yeah. That's a different caliber. I know what that is. So Prater had Taylor grab his car so they could they could all, put Katie in the vehicle and take her to the hospital. So while at the hospital, Katie was questioned by Sheriff Davis. The sheriff questioned her again about 4 days later to verify her original statement. The sheriff was then able to confirm that a rumor regarding Virgil was false. The rumor was that he believed he heard a car outside their home for several nights in a row, and he feared being killed prior to his murder. I want to know who these people are making all these fucking bullshit.
That's the rumor that was going around, but that's not true.
Correct.
Okay.
Some good news, though, here. In fact, amazing news. Katie Starks did somehow survive her wounds.
Fuck yeah.
Those shots, as crazy as it sounds, did not kill her or severely injure her. One bullet went through her right cheek beside the nose, emerging behind the left ear. Think about that. Yes, trajectory.
That didn't hit nothing?
Right.
Holy shit. I guess, if it goes in the right way, there isn't much there, though.
Right. And the other bullet went in her lower jaw below the lip.
Ooh, that probably hurt.
So it probably, and it says breaking her jaw and splitting
that
her
would
teeth.
That would shatter some shit.
Where the bullet was lodged right under her tongue. So it was stuck.
That didn't penetrate very well. I guess going through your jaw, that'll slow it down pretty quick.
Right.
Huh?
Well, Katie lived to the ripe old age of 84.
No shit.
Yep. She remarried and is currently buried between both of her husbands in Hillcrest Cemetery out there.
That's awesome.
And that's kind of cool. Like, I mean, it sucks that she was shot, but what a badass, strong woman to be able to, not only you got shot twice.
Imagine telling your grandkids that story.
Hey, whatever happened to Grandpa? Well, let me tell you what happened to me.
Just like, what's that? What's wrong with what's that mark from on your lip there? Well,
what more?
Let me tell you something.
Right. She's a tough old lady, so that's pretty awesome.
That is one lady that you could not complain about.
No, absolutely.
Like if you were around like, oh man, my back hurts. Oh, does it?
You ever been shot in the face? Twice? You better go clean that horse shit up.
Fucking grandkids complaining about something.
Exactly.
Like, oh, okay. Let's go there, shall we?
Yeah, poor old lady. But she was, apparently she was a badass woman. So
that's awesome, man.
So let's talk a little bit about the investigations here. Bum, 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 bum. As mentioned before, the police never believed Mary Jean Larry's story.
So that was the last attack?
That was the last attack, yeah.
Okay.
As far as we know. And again, you're going to see a mess. So they didn't really believe Mary Jean. Remember the girl that was attacked?
Yeah, that was attack. Like the weird circumstances there, yeah.
And that she and her boyfriend, the gentleman who was attacked and cracked in the head, that they knew their perpetrator.
Okay.
And I'm not...
So they were sticking by that story.
Sticking by the story.
Stick by my story.
Stick by my story. And I'm not entirely sure why they would cover up the attack again.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me.
But Mary Jean came back to the area after the first set of murders. So she heard about the murders and then came back. Supposedly she wanted to help in the investigation and link the murderer to her and her boyfriend's attacker. So why would you do that if you were trying to cover up for somebody?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
However, the Texas Rangers insisted that she knew who it was.
Who was their coach that year?
Not those Rangers.
Did he help out, the manager?
Not those Rangers.
No?
Oh. Mm-mm. By the way, real off topic real quick. What are you thinking about Watson?
I don't want to get into that.
Yeah, me neither.
Slippery slope, my friend.
I'm not a fan. I'm sorry.
From a purely football level, it's amazing.
Yeah, but
from every other level,
worst decision.
Very cringy.
Yeah. And for those of you, if you're sports fans or whatever, you probably know what we're talking about. And I'm just going to say,
sports fans.
I'm not behind it. So I'm just going to keep going here. Anyway, they insisted that, she knew who it was. And was she, there to throw him off the trail?
Yeah.
Did she maybe just want to see what they knew so then she could kind of twist her story?
Was she involved?
Right. I mean,
like the reason I asked that is because that seems, I wonder, you got to think about that. Was she, because her story about what happened is really the only thing they have to go on, right?
Correct.
So how do they, obviously there was evidence that she got cracked in the dome, right?
Correct.
So, but
she was out that day. How hard did she get hit?
Sometimes you got to take one for the team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
if she's involved in some way for some reason,
right?
Look, I'm going to give you a little bonk on the noggin, and then the rest of it's up to you.
That's kind of what I'm saying here. And she's making this fabrication that it's a black guy.
And then she's trying to get back involved so she can relay the info.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because think about it. How many times do they see that? Killers hang around. How many serial killers were friends with cops and got all their information through the cops to see what they knew?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the news. You're constantly paying attention to the news. And you get close to people and you find out stuff.
Always at the scenes of the crime. They hang around.
And then there's two other things here, too. We're kind of polar opposites. It's as far as one, the boyfriend wasn't killed in this one, in the very first attack.
Yeah, but it sounds like they were trying.
Well, he cracked him, but he had the gun. Why didn't he just shoot him? If he shot the other ones.
Maybe he didn't have any bullets.
But then, maybe. But then,
ill prepared?
On the other side of that, I'm thinking, well, maybe he then knew not to leave any more witnesses.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe he thought if he cracked him a couple times, that was kill him.
Yeah, I don't know. It's it's weird. It's really, really weird.
If you crack somebody with a gun and you feel, because you're going to feel their skull crack.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta assume at that point, well, did it twice. He's probably not getting up.
We hope. Or no, he hopes. We don't hope. And that's that's not what I meant at all.
You are just.
I know. I'm on a fucking roll today, huh? I'm in a bad mood. I haven't drank in days. I'm just kidding. I've actually stopped drinking as much as I normally do. Yeah. You know why? Because I'm on antibiotics because I was sick as shit this past week.
Oh, that's the reason. Yeah. Okay.
Not because I want to. It's because I have to.
That's funny, though.
So their attack wasn't even connected to the murders until the Texarkana Gazette published their interview with Mary Jean. This was only when the police asked the public to come forward if they had any knowledge of the murders or any unexplained absences when the murders occurred.
Which attack? So the very first attack wasn't connected with the other ones until
she came forward. Yes.
Weird.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And again, is she throwing that attack into that fold?
I was going to say, that's the other thing, Meg. Maybe that's why maybe she was involved and they were like, no, we got to get this part of it because this is what, this is what we wanted.
Well, now they have a scapegoat. Yeah. Now they've got this other guy who's possibly doing these other things and it just seems very convenient at the time.
Yeah.
But then again, maybe we're speculating. Yeah.
It's all speculation.
Yeah, it's all. Yeah.
If it wasn't speculation, they probably would have caught somebody.
True. And wait till you hear that, Jesus. So the first set of murders.
Jesus?
It was Jesus.
Oh.
You didn't know that?
Yeah, I knew he had it in him.
Yeah. The first set of murders launched a huge citywide investigation. The Texas Police, Arkansas Police, the Texas Rangers, headed by the Texas Department of Public Safety, both Miller and Cass County Sheriff's Offices.
And their first baseman.
Not those Rangers. No, not baseball. No. Law enforcement. I know it's confusing.
No, but
just keep going. It's fine. And the FBI were all involved.
Oh.
In questioning over 200 people.
200 people.
And in a town of, or not a town, but an area.
30,000.
Yeah, and that was at 2020. So think how many people were there in 1940s.
130?
Right, exactly. 201, you know? So unfortunately.
They just couldn't find the other
exactly.
guy?
Well, it was the cop. It was the cop asking. Well, I know it wasn't me. I've got to ask everybody else.
Or do you?
Yeah, that's true. Unfortunately, almost all were false leads, of course. There were 3 different people with bloody clothing found, but all 3 were cleared. The second double murder.
Farm incidents of some sort.
Correct, yeah, I would assume.
Bloody nose or something.
The second double murder case had the police working in 24-hour shifts, questioning everyone and bringing in potential suspects from up to 100 miles away.
Who are they questioning in 24 hours? You imagine just like being asleep, banging on the door.
What do you know?
Like, what the fuck? Who are you? What are you talking about?
Oh, dude, wait. The citizens. This is something out of a fucking movie, and I'm not even like not even like a movie, but like a weird.
They made a movie out of this.
They had to have, because this is just ridiculous. At one point, law enforcement attempted to set up a sting operation by asking teenagers to act as decoys in parked cars, with the police patiently waiting nearby. Yep, they did that. Mm-hmm.
Seems safe.
Yep, some police would even act as decoys with their partners or even mannequins sitting in their cars next to them. Yeah.
Never a mannequin.
Never a mannequin. There were even a few officers that would hide in trees in Spring Lake Park in the hopes of seeing and potentially catching some nut job doing some shit.
Gotcha, bitch.
I'm just going to get up in that oak tree.
Could you hold up? Like, imagine like you're just like out for a late night stroll, right? And like there's a cop in a fucking tree, and you're out for like a late night stroll, and you just happen to be passing by a car. Like they set up one of these sting operations, right? And there's like 2 mannequins in the car, and there's a fucking cop in a tree, and you're just like walking along, like heading home from the movies or something. And it's like all of a sudden a cop just fucking jumps out of a tree and lands on you. You're like, what the fuck is going on, dude?
It'd be even better if he didn't jump, he fell. What the fuck? Sorry, kid. I was looking for are you a murderer?
He lands in front of you. You're just like, what?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I didn't know we had cop trees here. It's amazing. So after the third set of attacks and the murder of Mr. Starks and the attempted murder of the badass Mrs. Starks, blockades were set up. Anyone driving around in the area were stopped and questioned, including several men who were hanging around.
What good does that do?
Yeah, well, they're just trying to up what they can do, I guess. 2 days after the Starks attacks, the investigation had 47 officers involved trying to solve the case. They even brought in a mobile radio station and a teletype machine. That's right.
Woohoo!
Just in case we need to send that fax that gets there in 17 days.
We brought in all the latest high-tech equipment in this one, guys.
Check this out. It's called a phonograph. Listen, it plays records.
Marconi would be proud.
Oh, that's hurt my side. Along with 20 additional police from Arkansas to help in the efforts. Unofficially, law enforcement believed they had a sex maniac on their hands.
Is that what they call it?
Quote, sex maniac. He's a sex maniac, see? Guarantee it. That's what they dubbed him, a sex maniac.
Oh shit, that's funny.
And that's because the attacker left large amounts of money and Mrs. Stark's purse in the home. Remember, they robbed the home, or not, but shot the home up.
Yeah.
And robbery was obviously not the motive. So at first, the police offered a $500 reward for any new information. Yeah,
that's a hefty.
But then, they brought in over 100 crappy leads that went nowhere
because everyone wants fucking $500.
Right. So it was then bumped up to $1,700.
17 in the 40s?
What is 40s? Oh, wait. Before you even do that.
Okay.
Then $7,025 after the Starks attack.
$7,025.
$25.
Okay.
Some guy's like, I'll throw in 25.
All right.
And within 10 days following, it was up to $10,000. In
1940.
In 1946.
All right. I'm going to check out how much.
Ooh.
1946, $10,000?
$10,000 in 1946. I'm going to say today it's probably $135,000.
10,000. How much did you say?
I said 135,000.
And you were fucking close.
What is it?
$145,495.
Damn, I'm good.
The increase was $135,000.
Hey, see? So the police debated on whether or not
almost $150,000. That's a lot of money, dude.
That's a lot of coins. See?
Damn, I'll be calling in some tips too.
I could buy myself a new tractor.
I'll be selling out my neighbor for that shit.
Perhaps some new shoes for the horse.
Hey, my neighbor's a weirdo. I think it might be him. He leaves at weird hours and comes home at weird hours.
Hey, I think my neighbor might be the guy you're looking for. Bob, shut up. Yeah, we'll split it. Don't worry about it. Yeah, his name's Bob. Bob, shut up.
It's the other Bob.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong number. Click. So the police debated on whether or not the Starks attack was even related to the other crimes.
Oh, really?
Due to the type of weapon that it was.
Oh.
The sheriff believed it was a .22 caliber rifle, which would kind of explain the damage on Mrs. Starks.
Yeah, dude, a .22 caliber rifle ain't going to get through a window from a distance and still kill somebody.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. But I don't know.
Unless he was right up against the window and the guy was sitting a few feet away, maybe.
Yes, like, that's the thing. We don't know. The back of his chair may have been right in front of the window.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't
literally,
have...
like he could be sitting...
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That just seems...
But it would explain...
That seems excessive.
It would explain why Mrs. Starks, how she survived her... You know, a .22 caliber is not going to do as much damage because everything else was a .32 caliber pistol.
Yeah, that'll fuck your face up.
Yeah, that'll do a lot of damage. So eventually law enforcement stated...
again, you don't know how far away the shot was either.
Exactly.
Again.
So the law enforcement then stated that Stark's attack was not related to the other double murders. So why am I still talking about it, you ask? Well, I'll tell you here in a few.
I actually didn't, but...
well, others did. Shut up. Obviously, the public was scared shitless. And boy, do they get nutty. Without even knowing about the first set of attacks, you know, the fact that 2 teenagers that were involved with the church had been murdered, it has sent the town into a frenzy, calling the killer the Phantom. Yeah, that's his name, the Phantom.
Do they still think he's a sex maniac? The Phantom sex maniac?
He's the sex maniac known as the Phantom.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's what they said it too.
All right.
You hear be on lookout for the Phantom, aka the sex maniac. So where once there were unlocked homes, the townspeople began locking their doors, arming themselves, nailing sheets over their windows, nailing windows completely down, and using makeshift window guards.
Ow.
They set up curfews for businesses to attempt to keep people from going out at night. But as the news of Virgil Starks being murdered, especially in his own home, attached itself to the story, it was all over the news.
Not safe anywhere.
In the surrounding areas. Right. So stores ran out of guns. Of course they did. Out of ammo. Out of locks. Out of window shades and blinds. And the search for guard dogs increased.
Oh.
Of course, you know.
It's a good day to be a lock salesman.
Yeah. And a dog salesman.
The locksmith's in the store like, hot damn, this is what we've been waiting for.
I'm going to retire tonight, baby. So news outlets even stated that, quote, the killer might strike again at any moment, at any place, at anyone. This is the news telling this to people.
Just so you know.
You could die.
Someone's going to die.
Right.
We don't know who or when or where.
But it could happen. Yeah. With its heightened sense of alert and everyone toting guns, Texarkana, once easygoing and peaceful, became an area of danger.
Everyone's just walking around eyeing each other, too.
It gets so much worse or better.
Just walking down the street with your gun out, just like...
eyeballing each other.
I can see you over there.
It was so bad that when the police would answer calls or check on disturbances, they had to turn on their sirens, stand in front of the headlights, and yell, "Hey, it's the fuzz!" So they would not be shot at by some scared, nervous homeowner. So in other words, if you just pulled up without having your lights on, they'd just fire at you. Yeah. Well, this was only exacerbated when Texas Ranger Gonzalez told everyone, quote, "Oil up your guns and see if they're loaded."
Someone just pulls your driveway like, all right, shoot them.
Yeah. That's exactly what was going on.
That's the quintessential shoot first, ask questions later.
And he also told people to not hesitate if people were inclined to bust a cap in someone's suspicious ass.
Did he say that in the 40s?
I kind of paraphrased. Yeah, but he said not to hesitate.
Oh.
Yeah, so if you see somebody that is suspicious...
Literally, he's telling them, shoot first, ask questions later.
Absolutely. That's exactly what's going on. And this is the chief of police. It's like that's the Texas Ranger guy.
You're fucking... Oh, the third baseman?
Oh, my God. Gun sales and fear reached other cities as well, including Oklahoma City. No, it wasn't the shortstop. In Oklahoma City...
He was trigger happy.
He was trigger, yeah. Oklahoma City was 5 hours away. Luckily, the people's concern diminished after about 3 months with no other attacks happening in that time. So that last set of attacks at the Starks, which they quote unquote say wasn't related, was the last one as far as they knew.
Okay.
Of course, the rumors of the murderer being caught, being held in the county jail, or sent off to another jail were flying around the Texas Ranger, and the Texas Rangers had to hold a press conference.
They had him in the bullpen.
No. They had to hold a press conference to tell everyone to shut the fuck up because those rumors were making their investigation that much more difficult, of course, stating the rumors were, quote, a hindrance to the investigation and harmful to innocent persons.
Like cops calling other cops like, hey, did they bring him in? No. Oh, Jimmy told me that you brought him in. He's going to another jail now. What are you talking about?
Well, that's funny. Some guy just said his neighbor Bob did it. I don't know. It's weird.
Some dude keeps calling about the shortstop.
Who's on first? So, the same press conference informed the folks around town that the murderer had not been caught despite the rumors suggesting otherwise. Gonzalez also said, quote, rumors are only take the officers from the main route to the investigation. It is so important that we capture this man that we cannot afford to overlook any lead, and no matter how fantastic it may seem. So he's saying, yes, every time you create a lead, we have to investigate it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're just wasting time.
Right. So if they're false leads, you're wasting our fucking time. So this was mainly because a lot of innocent people were accused of being the Phantom, like Bob, the next door neighbor. Then there were the vigilantes, and this is ridiculous. And I could see this happening today.
Yeah.
Teenagers sitting in parked cars hoping to catch the criminal. One instance had a couple of police officers walk up on a parked car with a couple inside, and as the officers announced who they were, a girl inside said, quote, it's a good thing you told me who you are, as she showed them the .25 caliber pistol she had pointed directly at them.
Wow.
Yeah. This is everybody. Everyone's trigger happy and like ready to freaking just kill somebody. Texas Ranger Gonzalez again said he gave a statement to the Gazette telling people that vigilantism was, quote, a good way to get killed.
Yeah.
Which it is. You're out there running around with a fucking gun.
Or kill somebody that you don't want to
right.
kill.
So now the suspects, and my God, if this wasn't already a cluster of just gobbledygook. So the Phantom, as he was dubbed by the Texarkana Daily News and was continuously called by other news outlets at the time, was described as being around 6 feet tall, wearing a white mask with eye and mouth holes cut out. However, that first attack, where the police were weary of their conflicting statements, was the only time a description was able to be given.
Interesting.
Because everyone else died.
Yeah.
Even Mrs. Starks, that came from outside.
She got shot in the fucking face.
Right. And she took off running. She didn't even see who did it. All
she's all blood.
Right. So what they're saying is that the only description they have are from the first two people who don't even have the same story. You know, with the girl that keeps coming back. You know what I mean? Yeah. Telling you it's weird.
Also, can I just say something really quickly?
Sure.
I was doing a little bit of research while I was over here.
Oh, boy.
The Texas Rangers were not a baseball team in 1946. So before anybody listening is like, oh, you idiots, they weren't even we know now that they were not around at that point. They did look like they had a minor league hockey team at some point, though, around that time.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Called the Texas Rangers?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Fort Worth.
Fort Worth. Okay. Yeah. However, again, they were conflicting statements and stuff. So this guy, they're saying, and what the police believe, that he attacked late at night, on the weekends, focused on young couples, took a 3-week cooling off period, and used a .32 caliber pistol. Even though they came out and officially said that Stark's attack, Mr. and Mrs. Stark, was not affiliated with the Phantom murders due to the gun, that was used, a lot of law enforcement and the citizens believed that it was. That's why it's still in here, because there's still a tinge of belief.
Officially, it's not part of it?
Correct.
Okay.
Unofficially, people still think, and including law enforcement.
Yeah.
So Texas Ranger Gonzalez believed the murderer was, quote, a shrewd criminal who had left no stone unturned to conceal his identity and activities, and was a, quote, cunning individual who would go to all lengths to avoid apprehension, and that his attacks were clever and baffling.
Kind of the point of being a criminal.
Right. But he called him clever and baffling.
Ooh, baffling?
Yes.
I don't think I've ever heard...
His attacks were clever and baffling.
Oh.
Yeah. Sheriff Presley stated, quote, this killer is the luckiest person I ever known.
Wait a minute. The luckiest person he's ever known?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Did he know the guy?
I don't know.
Was that a slip?
I don't know. Possibly. But he also goes on to say no one sees him, hears him in time, or can identify him in any way.
No one's done seen him.
We don't know who this guy is.
He wears a pillowcase on his head.
Now this guy here, the psychologist at the Federal Correctional Institute in Texarkana, Dr. Anthony LaPalla.
Oh.
Well, he believed that one person committed all 5 murders and that he was planning on killing people the way he murdered Virgil Starks.
Okay.
In their homes with no one to stop him.
Right.
He also believed he was motivated by a strong sex drive and sadism.
Sex maniac.
Sex maniac. See? His shift from the parked cars on the dark and desolate roads to the farmhouse of the Starks also leads LaPalla, the psychologist, to believe that the killer was smart enough to know that he had to change his behavior.
Yeah.
He also stated that there was evidence of, quote, deep planning, that he worked alone, told no one of his crimes, and could shift his crimes to a distant community or overcome the desire to assault and kill people.
So I might be jumping ahead here.
Yeah.
Did anybody ever bother to look at anything like that, like to see if there were crimes similar to that in the surrounding areas around the same time?
As far as I know, yes, but I think what they were trying to do is, because there's 4 different sets of attacks.
Yeah.
The first and last one really seem like outliers.
Right.
The second 2
Very
seem similar,
yeah,
but still different because of the whole car thing,
right,
and the dumping of the bodies, even though the one was like, placed inside the thing. So those 2, I can see those being related.
Yeah.
But the last 2, I feel like it's almost like they were trying so hard to get it to be a thing that I'm sure they looked and were like, well, this guy killed 4 people, but it was individual people and they weren't couples, so that probably has nothing to do with this.
Right. Okay.
And he used a 44 instead of a, you know what I mean?
Right.
It just seems like there wasn't, I don't know, again, a mess. This whole thing's a freaking mess. However, here, remember the psychologist I was talking about?
I do remember that.
Well, this dickhead is the same person that said he didn't believe the murderer was a black man because, and I quote, in general, Negro criminals are not that clever.
Jesus Christ.
What the fuck? Swear to God, remember when you said earlier they thought it was the black man? I'm like, well, no, actually, they don't, because they think they're not clever enough.
That's fucked up.
Oh my God. 1946. Hell happened.
I will say this, though. If it was a black man, he was like, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
You keep thinking that, buddy.
He's like, I did it. Dumbass white folk.
Walking around just like, I got you, motherfucker.
Almost 400 suspects were arrested throughout the case.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a lot.
They arrested more people than they interviewed.
Yeah. Of course, there were a shit ton of false confessions. There were at least 9 different people who confessed to being the Phantom, but it didn't line up with the facts of the case.
Okay.
In the first attack, where no one was murdered, no suspects were ever apprehended, which is odd because that's where they had the, quote, identity, of the guy. And that's also where they believe that the victims were covering for said attacker.
Yeah.
All right. So now the actual people that they have here.
The actual, like, plausible suspects?
I'm not even going to go say plausible.
These are just the people that they're like, well, it could have been this guy. I don't know.
But yeah. This is who they... And it gets more and more ridiculous as we go through these.
Okay.
So first of all, there's Yule Swinney.
Yule
Swinney.
That's a name you don't hear anymore.
No. Like Yule Brenner?
Yeah.
But this one's spelled Y-O-U-E-L-L.
U-L?
U-L. Is it U-L? Yule Swinney. I have no idea. But he was a 29-year-old car thief and counterfeiter.
Oh.
He was arrested in July by Officer Tackett, who was investigating car thefts after realizing that on the night of the Griffin Moore murders, that's the second set of murders? No, third. It's the third set.
Okay.
A car had been stolen in the area, and a previously stolen car had been found abandoned.
Oh.
Tackett was able to locate the former car and the former car and arrested Swinney's wife, Peggy, when she came to retrieve it. So,
he got him. Okay.
He's like, all right, I got you here.
All right.
Peggy confessed in great detail that Swinney was, in fact, the Phantom Killer and had killed Booker and Martin.
Oh, my.
Her story changed in some details across several interviews, and police believe she was withholding information due to a fear of Swinney or of incriminating herself.
Okay.
Police were able to independently verify some of the details of Peggy's confession, such as the location of victims' possessions, where she said Yule had discarded them. It's kind of a red flag. There was considerable circumstantial evidence against Swinney, but Peggy's confession was the most critical part of the case. However, Peggy recanted her confession.
Of course she did.
Yep. Was considered an unreliable witness and could not be compelled to testify against her husband because in the U.S. you don't have to. At least I think it's... Is it state to state or is that a federal thing?
I don't know.
Yeah, where you don't have to testify against your wife or husband. Yeah. So law enforcement officers worked for 6 months trying to validate Peggy's confession and tie Swinney to the murders. They found on the night of the Booker Martin murders, the Swinneys were sleeping in their car under a bridge near San Antonio. Weird.
I mean, who doesn't do that every once in a while?
Yeah, I guess.
You've never slept in your car under a bridge in San Antonio?
No, I have not.
Really?
It's on the bucket list.
Just me, huh?
On the bucket list. It's just you. So Swinney was never charged with the murder and was instead tried and imprisoned as a habitual offender of car theft.
They got him anyways.
Right. For the crime of habitually offending cars. And theftery.
Theftery.
Presley reported in his 2014 book that investigators in the Swinney case later said that the sentence was effectively a plea bargain, though the case files indicated no formal agreement.
Interesting.
Swinney was apparently concerned about being sentenced to death for the murder, so agreed to not contest the habitual offender charge, and in fact tried to plead guilty despite the charge requiring a jury trial.
Some things never change.
I know. That's my mouth. It hates me. So that's the first guy.
Okay. Seems like a strong
okay.
Like
the confession of the wife.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe. And then having some of the discarded items.
Yeah, that right there is
that seems pretty, but there's no definitive evidence there in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were sleeping under a bridge.
They were sleeping under a bridge. Yes. Under the bridge.
Downtown.
Yes. Is where I do some blood. Sorry. Next one up here is Henry Booker, Duty Tennyson.
Come again?
Yes. Henry Booker.
Yes.
Duty Tennyson.
Is that a job?
Well, his name is Henry Booker Tennyson, but he goes by Duty.
Now, how is that spelled?
Doodie.
Duty.
Correct.
So his name is Shit Tennyson?
Correct.
Okay.
Little baby turd Tennyson is his name. He was an 18-year-old university freshman who actually, unfortunately, died by suicide on November 4th of 1948, leaving behind cryptic instructions which directed investigators to a suicide note in which Tennyson confessed to the Booker, Martin, and Starks murders.
Oh.
Yes. He had played trombone in the same high school band as Booker, but they were not friends. Investigators were unable to find any other evidence linking Tennyson to the murders. Wait a minute.
He played trombone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't one of the other victims play?
That would be Booker.
Oh.
Yeah, she's the one that played the saxophone.
The saxophone?
Yeah.
And he's a trombonist. Mm-hmm. Tromboner?
I like that one better.
Tromboner.
Yeah, tromboner. Yeah, I think that one's better.
Interesting.
Yeah. So investigators were unable to find any evidence linking anything else, right? So James Freeman, a friend of Tennyson, provided an alibi for the night of the Starks murder, stating that they had been playing cards that evening when they heard the news of the attack.
Oh, so he was like, dude, this guy's full of shit.
Right. His friend's like,
I was with him that night.
Yeah, I don't know why,
I don't know why he would do that.
Yeah, I mean, but why, first and foremost, I mean, you're 18 and you're killing yourself. That's horrible. But
yeah,
why leave a note like that just to fuck with people?
I mean, people do that shit, man. I mean, same as the false confessions. People
it's crazy.
I mean, think about it. He was in a state of mind where he was willing to kill himself.
Yeah.
Maybe he wanted to say, you know what, fuck it. If I'm like, who knows what the circumstances behind his life were? But like, what if it was, he could have been in one of those situations where like nobody cares about me, nobody loves me, nobody whatever. My life is shit. Blah blah blah. If I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna make him remember me.
Yeah.
Like you want, something like that. Like get his name out there. Because then that way, even when he died, people are gonna be like, "Dude, that guy killed all these people."
Yeah,
his name would still be. Because think about it, if they were somehow, if that stuck, if no one proved an alibi, and then somehow like they were just like, "This is the guy that did it," you'd still talk about him.
Well, we're still talking about him now. What? Right. 70 years later, 80 years later. You know what I mean? Yeah,
it's the same. It's the same kind of reason that you get people with the false confessions.
Right. They just want that notoriety.
Yeah.
Next guy up on our list here is Ralph B. Bowman.
Ralph B. Bowman.
Yeah. A 21-year-old ex-Army Air Force machine gunner claimed to have awoken from my stomach just said, he awoken from a fugue state of several weeks on the day of the Starks murder with his rifle missing.
Okay.
He said that he heard about a suspect matching his description and hitchhiked to Los Angeles.
Was he tan? Was he tan?
That doesn't say.
Okay.
But he said he felt like he was running from murder. On May 23rd, he told Los Angeles police that he thought he might be the Phantom and, quote, "I'm my own suspect," he said.
So his rifle was missing.
His rifle was missing.
And they think that the last ones were done with a .22 rifle?
With a rifle, correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Police arrested him, but Gonzalez from the baseball team stated that several parts of the man's story had little basis in fact. Bowman said that he'd been discharged from the Air Force for being a psychoneurotic, and he had previously confessed to killing 3 people in Texarkana in a period of 3 days, which did not match the timeline of the killings.
Okay.
So there's that guy.
So he just sounds like a nut job.
Yes. This next guy coming up is simply known as Saxophone Peddler. Yep.
There's no name.
No name.
He is listed in the suspect list.
Saxophone Peddler.
Saxophone Peddler.
Correct. So investigators had hoped that Booker's saxophone, which she had played the night of her murder and which was missing, might lead them to a suspect. On April 27th, I hate my mouth. I hate it. Junior. Anyway, a suspicious man was arrested in Corpus Christi, Texas, for trying to sell a saxophone to a music store.
Oh.
He had asked about selling the instrument to the store. It is very suspicious. He had asked about selling the instrument to the store, but became evasive and fled from the store manager. Quote, although no saxophone was found in his possession, the police found a bag of bloody clothing in his hotel room.
Oh.
After several days of questioning, the man was cleared as a suspect. Booker's saxophone was located on October 24th, 6 months after the murder, in underbrush near the place her body had been found.
Okay, so the saxophone never went anywhere.
Well, it says, although no saxophone was found in his possession. So did he find it or did he have it in his possession and then fucking ditch it?
Back?
Yeah, they found her body.
Yeah.
They obviously did a search.
Correct.
You didn't find a fucking saxophone, big metal saxophone?
I mean, they're tricky.
Really? Yeah. Between all that brush, that brass saxophone doesn't stick out.
First of all, have you ever looked for a saxophone in the underbrush?
I can't say that I have.
So you have no frame of reference.
I don't have.
All right.
Yeah, I don't. You are correct.
All right.
You are correct.
What if it was in a case? Case was black. You're not going to see that shit.
That's true. But my questioning here is if in fact he did have that saxophone, wouldn't it make sense for him to go and put it back where her body had been found?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. So he took it back. He may have taken it and then took it back.
Yeah. And so, and again, all circumstantial.
Sure.
But they don't even have a name. It's
he's just
Saxophone Peddler.
I'm sure they had a name.
First name, Saxophone.
They had to have had a name for the guy if they questioned him and shit, right?
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, maybe. I don't know. Maybe he didn't even give a name. If he didn't have ID on him, what are they going to do? Run through DNA or run through, you know what I mean? Like, there's none of that back then.
Yeah.
He could have simply been like, nope, I'm not telling you.
Can you imagine like how easy it is? Like, that was so easy to get away with shit. Like you get stopped by the cops back then. You're just like, my name's Bill Johnson.
Yep.
Oh, okay, Bill. Have a nice day. You're like,
well, the 80s, that's what baffles me nowadays with people trying to get away with shit. It's just, dude, you're not going to get it. The chance of you getting away with it is like, it's in the millionths of percentile that you're going to get away with it.
Yeah, we're still talking about unsolved crimes.
This is true. Most of these are all old, though. So,
that's true.
Which is why I grabbed this one, because I was like, what? This whole story is just fucking just crazy to me.
Saxophone peddler guy.
They
found bloody clothes?
Bloody clothes and a saxophone, which they couldn't. He was seen trying to pawn a saxophone. They did not find a saxophone, found bloody clothes. And then the saxophone was found by where her body was initially found.
6 months later.
But wasn't there initially. Yeah.
So did they say how soon after they talked to, or how soon after Saxophone Man fled the music store did they find the actual saxophone? You know what I mean? So like, was it like they called this dude like, hey, this fucking weird dude was trying to sell the saxophone. He was kind of acting all crazy. And then they like talked to the saxophone peddler guy. And then like, a week later, they mysteriously find the saxophone?
Well, that was April 27th that they did that. And she was, let's see here if I can find it real fast.
So April 27th is when they found the saxophone? Or that's when they talked to that's when the guy was
trying to sell the saxophone.
That's when saxophone peddler was trying to sell.
Right.
Okay.
Let's see here. And April 14th is when they found, April 15th is when they found her body.
Okay.
So 12 days later.
And then 6 months after that is when they found the saxophone.
Right.
Yeah, that seems weird that they, honestly, I know I was fucking with you, but that does seem weird that they didn't find a saxophone.
Right.
Even in a case.
Yeah.
There's
no way
that's a sizable.
Yeah. There's no way they didn't find a saxophone. You know what I mean? So if
unless they were really, really bad at.
And again, who knows? I mean, these are the same cops that are telling everyone to shoot first and ask questions later. You know what I mean? Like, who knows?
That might not be a grandma.
Right. Exactly. Like, so this next guy is German prisoner of war.
Again, no name.
Again. Yeah.
German POW.
Yep. On May 8th, it was announced that an escaped German prisoner of war who was already being hunted as, quote, a matter of routine. Don't know what that means. Was considered, you know what that means? He's a German prisoner of war.
They're just like, man, you gotta wait.
Yep.
Let's go get him.
So this guy was considered a suspect. He was described as a stocky 24-year-old weighing 187 pounds or 85 kilograms for those smarter than us, with brown hair and blue eyes. He had stolen a car in Mount Ida, Arkansas, and attempted to buy ammunition in several eastern Oklahoma towns.
Oh, my.
The police kept searching for the POW, but it was said that he had, quote, vanished into thin air.
Huh.
He was a suspect. Did you hear what I just said?
Yes.
He stole a car.
Yep.
Tried to buy ammunition.
Yep.
And he looked similar to who they think might be it.
I don't know many super tan Germans.
Do you like my tan? It's so nice. I've been outside. I'm a farmer.
I haven't seen you in a long time, Mustache.
I am a farmer.
How are you, Mustache?
Oh, I'm so tired.
Yeah?
Yes, I'm just hanging around, and it's just horrible.
Yeah.
Especially now, because, I have a cold.
Oh, man.
Yes. Can you imagine? It's all in my whiskers.
Yeah.
It's
So you're
gross.
constantly washing up. Huh?
Except it's kind of like hair gel, so I do all kinds of cool things now with it.
Do you style it a little bit? That's good.
I take it to make it look up, and it almost looks like I'm sneezing at all times.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
So that's a way to make the best of a bad situation.
Yes, it's very nice.
Well, it was good to talk to you, Mustache.
You too, Moody. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
So next up is Unknown Hitchhiker.
God,
yep. This is just, I'm telling you, this
Unknown Hitchhiker.
Now
they're just winging it, dude. They're like, oh, it could have been a hitchhiker.
And this is also back in the day when if somebody took a news reporter, took your information down, they would tell your address and everything about you. If you gave a quote, they'd be like, Adam Moody from blah, 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 blah on North Hornshire, south of the, they give all this information, but you're not going to give the information. I don't know. It's just insane to me. So on May 7th, a hitchhiker armed with a pistol carjacked and robbed a man, threatening to kill him and stating that he had killed 5 people in Texarkana, naming Martin and Booker. The hitchhiker went on to say that he was not finished killing people. Gonzalez said that the police were doubtful that this man was the phantom killer, noting that the killer had gone to lengths to conceal his identity while the hitchhiker boasted about it.
He was freely just throwing it out there.
Right. Yeah. So that's,
but then again, I mean, you never know.
There's that guy.
And I mean, I guess name-wise, he could have just gotten the names from news reports.
Exactly.
Whatever, right?
Exactly. I mean, you could probably read it someplace.
And plus, he probably thought, well, it'll scare the shit out of him. He won't fuck with me if I tell him that I'm the guy that...
Right, absolutely. Yeah, if you're going to steal
I'm a crazy sex maniac. Get out the car.
Do you know my name? I'm the Phantom. Get out of the car before I have sex with you. Next is Atoka County suspect. Yep.
Okay.
On May 10th in Atoka, Oklahoma, a man assaulted a woman in her home, ranting that he might as well kill her because he had already killed 3 or 4 people and that he was going to rape her. Yikes.
Sex maniac.
Yep. He then fled.
Lock him up.
A widespread search for the man included 20 officers and 160 residents.
Oh, my God, dude.
That is what we call a mob. That is a mob.
Pitchforks, torches.
2 days later, police arrested a suspect but did not believe this man was the Phantom. According to the man's story, he could not have been in Texarkana at the time of the Starks murder. I couldn't have been there, see?
Oh, okay.
Bye. See you guys later.
Can you imagine if that's all it took? We think you're the one that did it. I couldn't have been there. All right.
Right, exactly. Well, okay, then. I told you it wasn't him. Next, we have Sammy.
Oh, Sammy.
Sammy.
Sure.
Sammy is not a real name. It is a pseudonym given to a longtime Texarkana resident with a good reputation, whom the police were reluctant to name as a suspect. His vehicle's tire tracks were found across the road from Martin's corpse. He failed a polygraph test, so the police decided to have him hypnotized by psychiatrist Travis Elliott.
Jesus Christ.
Of course, and it always works. Travis concluded that Sammy had no criminal tendencies. He had pulled his vehicle to the side of the road in order to urinate, And then he subsequently visited a married woman with whom he was having an affair.
Heyo.
Concealing this caused Sammy to fail the polygraph test. After police verified the details, they cleared Sammy as a suspect.
Okay.
Yeah. Seems kind of fucked up.
Wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah. It's like, well, that fucking sucks.
Yeah.
All right. So this one is a taxi driver.
Taxi driver.
That's
it Robert De Niro? Taxi
driver. No, maybe. And Jesus. A taxi driver became a major suspect in the book Martin Murders because his cab was seen in the vicinity of the crime scene that morning, but he was soon cleared. Why is that even in there? You know what I mean?
I saw this car in the area, just so you know. Was it around the time? No, it was in the morning, but he was there. Get him.
Right. It's just, I don't know. Like,
what the fuck, dude?
Remember that guy the other day that was walking on the street when that thing happened to happen?
They're grasping.
We've got to go after him. Man. Yeah, it's stupid. Now there's Earl McSpadden.
That can't be a real name.
I don't know. And dude, maybe. I don't know. Earl sounds right.
McSpadden?
Hey there, I'm Earl. Earl Cliff McSpadden, to be exact.
Earl Cliff McSpadden.
Yes. Earl Cliff.
Okay.
Not one word. Anyway, so on May 7th at approximately 6 a.m., the body of Earl Cliff McSpadden was found on the Kansas City Southern Railway tracks 16 miles or 26 kilometers north of Texarkana near Ogden.
That took a turn very quickly.
Yes. The body's left arm and leg had been severed by a freight train a half an hour earlier. The coroner's jury's verdict stated, quote, death at the hands of persons unknown. And that, quote, he was dead before being placed on the railroad tracks.
You could tell that by probably the bleed out and stuff.
Right. And this is where it gets even weirder.
Okay.
More weird.
McSpadden.
Right, McSpadden. Because the murder is unsolved, locals have speculated that McSpadden was the Phantom's sixth victim. However, a prominent rumor exists claiming that McSpadden was the Phantom and had committed suicide by jumping in front of the train.
Even though it was said that he was dead before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know anymore.
So the coroner, though, they didn't say anything about a gunshot. They just said he was dead before the train ran him over.
Correct. So they don't know if he was beaten to death and he was put in front of the train and just, here we're going to.
So there's absolutely nothing to tie this to.
Nothing whatsoever. Again, a mess. It's a mess. And to this day,
I think they just wanted to put it in there because of his name.
Right. You know what? McSpadden sounds like the guy.
It's fun. It's a fun name. Let's put him in there. We'll talk about him. We could say McSpadden a lot.
Right.
It'll be good.
So right now, those are the
the first
suspects.
The first one actually seems like a plausible suspect.
Yeah, but I also believe the guy with the saxophone as well.
The saxophone guy, saxophone peddler could be another viable suspect.
That seems weird to me.
He was trying to sell saxophone. He had some buddy clothes.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. That one just seems weird. So, I mean, that's the whole story as far as I know it. And as far as all the research I've done, it's still unsolved to this day.
Okay.
So if anyone out there happens to know someone that knew someone that knows whatever that has to do with the Phantom murders, is also what they're called, or the Texarkana Moonlight murders, get a hold of your, the Texarkana police down there, either side, or the Texas Rangers, and probably not the baseball team. I don't think they'd really want to hear about it.
They're not fielding calls right now for that.
That was pretty awesome.
Did you miss my puns?
No, I did. I did miss the puns. I did. They're very punny. So that's it. That's the Texas Moonlight murders. Want to know what you guys think? All right. They are still unsolved to this day.
To this day.
And now, boys and girls, it's your favorite part of the show, the movie review. Which top 10 movies will make the cut today?
And that right there literally was probably the most fitting.
Yeah, I know. That goes with the whole motif
that we've ever done. Yeah. Ta-da.
Ta-da.
Yeah. See? So we are going to be talking about the best small town thriller movies.
Small town thrillers?
Yeah.
All right.
So basically,
is this movies. An IMDb or what?
This is Screen Rant.
Screen Rant. That's a good
And it's the 10 best thriller movies set in a small town.
I was born in a small town.
Oh boy. Were you?
Probably die in that same small town.
Yeah. All right, Cougar Menstrual Cramp, calm down.
Whatever, you love it.
Number 10 on our list is, and I want to know if you've seen any of these.
All right.
Obviously. Red Hill from 2010.
Never heard of it.
The Australian Western thriller film Red Hill follows the arrival of a young police officer to a small country town to discover on his first day on the job that a lunatic killer has recently escaped from prison and is heading his direction.
He's headed your way.
Things aren't all as they seem, however, once he begins to uncover the truth behind the town's shady police presence.
Oh.
Director Patrick Hughes made his debut with Red Hill, a thrilling homage to classic Western cinema with a tense plot made all the more enthralling by some of Australia's best acting talent.
Russell Crowe.
No, it doesn't tell me.
Oh.
Screen Rant doesn't do that. It's so weird. But anyway, I've never heard of that movie before.
No, I have not either.
Okay. This one is an amazing movie, and I'm sure you've seen this one. A Simple Plan from 1998.
I have seen that one, yes.
Yeah, of course. Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
Sam Raimi's A Simple Plan tells the story of three acquaintances.
Also a shitty pop punk band, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah,
were they a pop punk band?
Yeah, they were total. They were Simple Plan, not A Simple Plan, but yeah.
Whatever. They still sucked.
Yeah. Well, so these three guys, they find a stash of millions of dollars in a plane wreck and decide to keep their find a secret. Yeah, Split the money and keep it for themselves.
That's what I would do.
Each member of the trio has a different plan for their loot, however, and things get even more complicated when people come looking for the lost money.
Oh, shit, son.
Following the success and popularity of his Evil Dead trilogy, Raimi proves that he is as equally talented as a director outside of the fantasy horror genre with the grounded crime thriller A Simple Plan. And this has Bill Paxton in it.
Oh, Bill Paxton.
Yeah. We all know who Bill Paxton is, right? Why are you looking at me like that?
Because there might be people out there that don't know who Bill Paxton is.
Oh, I thought it was kicking in. That's all. You looked at me like...
No.
Oh. So Bill Paxton, he was in Aliens.
Game over, man.
Yeah.
Game over.
Yeah.
My favorite role of Bill Paxton was as Coconut Pete in the movie Club Dread, which is a Broken Lizard movie, which is the guy that did Super Troopers.
Perfect. My favorite was from Weird Science, where he was turned into a human pile of shit.
Chet.
Yes, that's my favorite, and he was amazing. So that's number 9. You guys, if I want to see if you've seen this,
that's a good movie.
It's a great movie. Number 8, The Hunt from 2012. Mads Mikkelsen.
I don't think I've seen.
Or Mikkelsen. I don't know.
Mikkelsen.
Yeah. Headlines the Scandinavian drama thriller The Hunt, where he plays a kindergarten teacher out to prove his innocence after one of his students accuses him of a horrible act. Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Oh, man.
The accusation may simply be a figment of the child's imagination, though the townspeople take nothing to chance and begin a witch hunt. I don't know. Never seen it.
All right.
It's Scandinavian, so it's...
Mads Mikkelsen's pretty good.
Yeah, he's a pretty good actor. Yeah, I dig him. Number 7 from 2007, Shotgun Stories.
Nope.
Family rivalries make for some of the tensest themes in small-town thrillers, and Jeff Nichols' debut indie film Shotgun Stories features it in spades. It follows the feud that develops between two sets of half-brothers after the death of their father, as we find out just what each group is willing to do to protect their family.
Okay.
Yeah. I hate that they don't tell me like who's in the damn thing.
Yeah.
Because you know that... here, turn your... real quick and just see. You know that guy. See him? Hold on. Do you see his face? You know that guy.
Looks familiar.
He's been in a bunch of shit. Can't remember what the damn... Oh, thank God that was empty. Thank God that was empty. Anyway, yeah, this doesn't even have any ratings or anything. They're just saying that these are the movies. I don't know. Screen Rant sucks. We're not doing Screen Rant anymore. I want to know if you guys have seen that, because I have not. Shotgun Stories.
Not familiar.
Number 6, Snowtown from 2011. I've actually heard, I've heard a lot about this.
Snowtown?
Snowtown.
Not familiar.
Set in a small town in Adelaide, Australia, and based on a horrific true crime, Snowtown follows the relationship between a teenager and his mother's new boyfriend. The boyfriend becomes somewhat of a mentor and father figure to him, only to later find out that things aren't what they seem when dead bodies are discovered about the place.
Okay, there is nobody I know in that movie. I'm looking at the cast right now.
Of what? Snowtown?
Snowtown.
Yeah, Snowtown I'm not familiar with.
What was that last one called? Shotgun something?
Shotgun Stories.
Okay.
Shotgun Stories. That's shotgun.
Oh, it's not Shogun. Shotgun.
Shogun Stories?
It's a completely different thing.
That could be an entirely different movie.
It's probably a real thing.
The Shogun Stories.
Let's see, who is that dude? Fuck is that guy?
If you said his name, I probably still wouldn't know it, to be honest with you. But he's been in a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
He was just recently in that TV show with Nicole Kidman where what is it? Like 7 strangers or 7 weird. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
There's no names that I recognize.
All right. Well, it doesn't fucking matter. Number 5, Straw Dogs.
Is it the original or the remake?
1971.
So it's the original. That's a good movie.
Yeah. Dustin Hoffman headlines the classic psychological thriller film Straw Dogs, where he plays an astrophysicist who moves to a country town in England with his wife to get away from the violence plaguing his home country of America.
Yeah.
Violence seems to follow him, however, as the town's locals, who are known to his wife, become increasingly hostile towards him. Yeah. This movie, number 4, is absolutely amazing. Okay. Number 4 is Hell or High Water from 2016.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, dude, it's so awesome. 2 brothers hatch a plan to rob a series of banks in order to gather enough money to pay back a loan that they'll use to save their family estate. Okay. So hot on their tail is a Texas Ranger who will, use his wits and experience to anticipate their next movie or move.
Jeff Bridges is in it.
Yeah, Jeff Bridges is the Texas Ranger. It's got Chris Pine.
Yeah, look at that.
Chris Pine and Ben Foster, both amazing actors. And Chris Pine, if you guys don't know who that is, that's the new Captain Kirk from the new Star Trek stuff. Yeah. He's a great actor. He's also in the new Wonder Woman. He was Wonder Woman's dude.
I haven't seen the Wonder Woman.
You're not missing much. Number 3, also a great movie, Fargo from 1996.
Okay, yeah, Fargo.
Fargo's badass. One of the most highly regarded cult classic films of the 90s is the Coen brothers' crime drama thriller, Fargo. Follows a small-town car salesman who hatches a harebrained kidnapping scheme to come up with some money to get out of some financial troubles. What is meant to be a rudimentary plan goes south fast, and the financial problems become the least of his worries.
Wood chipper.
Yep. It's amazing. Steve Buscemi.
That's the scene, man.
Yeah, it's awesome. And it's such a dark, just black comedy. Oh, yeah. Like, it's great. So good.
Yeah, it's good.
God, I love that. They even made a TV show out of it, didn't they?
Yeah.
I haven't seen the TV show.
I haven't either.
So staying on with the Coen brothers here, number 2, also a good movie, except for the end. The end can suck my butt. No Country for Old Men.
I've never seen that whole movie.
Really?
Yeah.
It's good. It's a slow burn.
Yeah.
Super slow burn. So this one's another career milestone in 2007. No Country for Old Men. Multi-Oscar award-winning film sees a ruthless hitman arrive at a town to collect a sum of money recently discovered by a local man at the site of a drug deal gone wrong. Mm-hmm. The hitman takes no prisoners on his relentless journey to complete his mission. And the hitman is Javier. What is it?
Javier Bardem.
Yeah. No, it's Javier Bardem.
Javier Bardem.
That Javier Bardem guy who played that role amazingly.
Yeah.
He played that completely drab and like non-emotional person. It was so amazing. Or non-emotional.
With that fucking haircut.
Emotionless. And then number 1 on our list, Wind River from 2017. I have not seen this.
Is that a horror Western?
I don't think so. It does have, let's see, Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen in it.
Is it a Marvel movie?
It is not. Set on a Native American reservation atop a harsh, snowy landscape, Wind River follows an FBI agent's attempt to solve a murder.
I haven't seen this. I know the movie, though. I do know the movie.
It's number 1 on here. The pair find the odds stacked against them in a town that holds more secrets than they can imagine. But yeah, those are the movies for the week.
I do remember seeing like the previews for this movie.
Do you remember? Sorry.
I just said I remember.
Do you remember?
Yeah, I do.
Sorry. I do. Much ado about nothing. So those are the movies for the week. Yeah. So make sure to stop over to our official website, themidnighttrainpodcast.com. At our website, you can buy some super sweet merchandise.
Super sweet.
Yeah. Where you can find our Duke or Finger Bum, the Don't Be a DeSalvo, Jersey Raccoon, hats, phone case. I mean, so much more stuff. So good. Oh, I thought you were pulling your ween out, dude. I was like, what is going on?
That comes later.
Not that kind of. There's the DeSalvo shirt. There it is. Don't be a DeSalvo. That son of a bitch. Also, listen. If you want to stay clean.
Who's the guy on that? Who's the picture on that shirt, by the way?
It's DeSalvo. What the fuck? If you want to stay clean, you need some Dr. Squatch soap.
Yeah.
I actually just ordered my Batman collection 2 days ago.
I didn't see they had a Batman one.
Batman just came out. So I ordered that. I actually got 2, 1 to use and 1 to keep.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. So, of course, you guys know Dr. Squatch is changing the way that men approach hygiene by providing all natural, high-quality, healthy products like bar soaps, hair care, colognes, beard oils, and more that make you feel like a man and smell like a champion. Women use it as well, right?
Yeah.
Your wife uses it, right?
Used it, yeah.
Yeah. All soaps and products are made right here in the U.S. using the finest all-natural ingredients, not cheaply made or harmfully mass-produced. I just opened up a new one the other day. I cannot remember what it's called, but it's green and white.
Yeah.
Dude, it smelled.
Is it the aloe one?
It might be. That might be what it is. God, does it smell good?
I have another. So the one I'm using now, I love the way it smells, but every once in a while, you get a hint of like pickle. You smell like a pickle.
I don't know if I hate that or love that.
But like the scents that are in it are like, okay, let's not pickle anything, right? But it's like, I opened it and I started like washing. I was like, I smell like a fucking pickle right now. I loved it because I love pickles.
Dr. Squatch, can you get us a pickle? Soap?
Dill pickle soap?
A dill pickle. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'd use it.
I'd use that. I love all their soaps. The only one I've had a problem with so far, and by the way, Chainsaw out there was asking what we recommend.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I love them all.
Yeah.
I really like the ones with the exfoliating stuff in it.
That's all we get.
Yeah, I like that, except the coffee one. It had a little bit too much in it.
See, I had the coffee one too, and I didn't think it really smelled like anything.
Yeah.
There wasn't a very strong scent.
And there was just chunks of coffee grounds all over the fucking place. That's the only one, but I still liked it. I thought it was good. It was a good soap. It got stuff all over the place.
Pine tar is amazing.
Yeah, pine tar is great. I like the bourbon one. God, I love that one. Oh, that's so good. But you can get 20% off your first subscription. All right, just head on over to the midnighttrainpodcast.com/sponsors. Click on the banner and use the code that's on there to get the best damn soap. Also, yes, we just got sponsored from Manscaped.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Manscaped is now sponsoring the show. I will have all that information coming up soon for you. You guys are going to get all kinds of discounts.
Shave your balls and be happy about it.
Yeah. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, you can go over and you can use promo code accidental to get a percentage off over there.
Yeah.
Right now. Yeah.
All right.
So, and what we need help too. All right. So you guys, obviously
they know that
we need you guys to go over there and order it using that code because we have a year trial with them.
Okay.
And if we can get enough people to go over and use our code, it's going to be an indefinite trial.
Nice.
Or not indefinite trial. It's kind of oxymoronic, wasn't it? So yeah. So make sure you guys are doing that. You know what I mean?
I'll fucking use it.
Absolutely. Get yourself some Manscaped stuff, dude. They have great stuff. They got, seriously, for guys and girls can use them too, but it's mainly meant for dudes. Yeah. They got the ball trimmer on there.
And I don't know, like, I know girls don't get this. I mean, maybe you do. It might be the same with your parts. But, man, if you've ever accidentally trimmed your nutsack with clippers.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
It's the worst. It is the worst. And I'm sure they probably have done the same.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There might be,
Yeah, I'm sure it happens. And it's awesome, too, because they have all kinds of cool stuff over there, including, like, nose trimmers and it's called, like, the weed whacker. You know what I mean? Like, that's, and then there's the ball, your ball trimmer. That's what it is.
It's a ball trimmer.
That's what it is. It's shave your balls.
Not just your balls, though.
No, it's for everything. So if I'm not mistaken, you go over to manscaped.com and whenever you order, just use promo code accidental. And hook it up. Help us out.
All right, man.
And also, if you like what you've heard from us, and God knows you had to have, consider being a producer of the show by heading over to the midnighttrainpodcast.com and clicking on the Patreon button, or just go over to patreon.com/the Midnight Train Podcast. For as little as $5 a month, you can get all kinds of cool stuff like, custom shirts, posters, stickers, all kinds of cool stuff, but especially the bonus episodes.
Yeah.
That's where it's at. And if you sign up to be a Patreon,
because we put all of our crappy episodes out for you guys.
Right,
if you want the good episodes,
you got to pay for it.
You got to pay for that.
Yeah, you got to pay for it. But also, you will receive bonus episodes from Icons and Outlaws, our new music podcast as well. So for one price, you get
2 for 1, baby.
You get bonuses for both. So it's kind of cool.
1.
Yeah. So get over there and do that. Help us out, support the show. But of course, word of mouth is how we're going to get more passengers on this train and continue to bring you weekly episodes.
Yeah.
Right? So do that. Be awesome.
Yeah.
Help us out. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify. You can rate us over there now. And you can also listen to the new songs from Icons and Outlaws over there on Spotify. And we have a curated playlist specifically for you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So all the cover songs that we are actually writing for the shows are going to be up there.
Playlist?
We've got 3 songs released so far on the playlist.
What are they?
We've done, thank you. Big Empty from Stone Temple Pilots.
Oh, very nice.
We've done That'll Be the Day by Buddy Holly.
Oh.
And the one I'm most awkwardly proud of, Dirt Off Your Shoulder by Jay-Z.
Wow. Okay.
And they are definitely not what you think, so give them a listen if you get a chance. Also listen to the show, Icons and Outlaws, because
it's all Calliope music.
Yeah, that's all it is. Yeah. It
sounds like a circus from 1947.
Yeah, it's hardcore country.
Jeez.
Yeah, we call it Cunt Core.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. So it'll be good. You get over there. And plus those songs we playing on the end of each episode. So the songs that we do are correlated
to the episode.
Yeah, so yeah,
I like it.
It'd be cool.
Like
and if you're looking for a new podcast player, listen, even though I think Spotify's pretty awesome, but so is Good Pods. Get over there and check out Good Pods. What's good about them is it's all about the indie podcast. So it's not like they're throwing the same 5 corporate ones out there. So you can get on there and you can also rate us on that mofo as well. Good Pods.
Good Pods.
Good Pods.
Bro. Good Pod.
Good pod, bro.
Bro, that pod.
Dude, that pod is so good.
It's good, dude.
We can't thank you enough for all the love and support we receive. Thank you, Moody, for coming back, man, and hanging out. That's awesome. Man. Moody's going to be here, hopefully indefinitely, until he goes on another Sasquatch hunt. By the way, did you find anything on that? Or
I can't really talk about that.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah. There's some ins and outs and things that I'm still working through some red tape.
Like ins and outs, like you were having sex with Sasquatch? Those kinds of ins and outs?
I'm just saying, if it were to happen, I don't think I would tell you.
So you can't tell me either way, is what you're saying?
At least not about the sex.
So you can't say it didn't happen.
I'm not saying anything.
Okay. All right. Well, that makes sense. So you guys do keep the train moving. Thank you all so much for listening. And a very special thank you to our fearless executive Patreon. God, you producers are amazing. And we're trying to come up with a new name, Moody.
Yeah.
For our Patreon producers.
All right.
Because, we were calling them the poopers for a while because the People's Organization of
paranormal
obscurities and research, that really stupid thing I came up with.
Yeah.
Well, now we've got the Icons and Outlaws, and it's going to be combined together. So, I actually want you guys to come up with your own name. I think that'd be awesome.
Okay.
You guys get together, get on there onto our forums and stuff, and let us know what you guys want to be called. In the meantime, you will be our amazing Patreon producers. And to you, I say thank you. To Margaret. Hold on. I'm going to start that over. Ready? Hold on. To Margaret Dempsey. I am so sorry. Sargaret. Oh, my God. I'm still sick. Margaret, I am so sorry.
Margaret?
Sargaret. It's Sargaret Margaret is what I basically did there. I am so sorry. Oh, my God. That's ridiculous. To Margaret Dempsey. Kelly Ryan, Corey Krakowski, Nathan Diekman, Hank Sanchez, Stacy Laconin, Nicholas Cooper, Caitlin McKinney, Trent Scott, Spencer Dunlap, Jacob Cook, Maggie Brothers, Albert Lopez, Miles Campbell, Brian Gunzelman, Margaret Atkins, Colleen Cox, Pumpkin Escobar, Mac Doherty, Turner Cox, Sydney Sayer, Gina Madison, Janet Sherrill, Chad Flint, Chris McLeod, Justin Kowalczyk, Rob Webb from the Funbox Podcast.
Yeah,
make sure you go check out the Funbox. Christina Skelton and Jessica Bartolome from the Sisters Skeleton.
Is that what it is? I thought it was the Sisters Skeleton.
Sisters.
Skeleton.
Yeah.
Skeleton.
Skeleton. Right. What are you saying? No, it's a Sisters Skeleton.
Saying Pam?
It's Skelton. All right, podcast. To Maria Gibbs, to Chainsaw.
What the fuck?
And thank you for stopping out, brother. He stopped over with your sister yesterday.
Yeah. I saw that they stopped by.
And got some footage.
I think they went to the Tool concert.
Did they? A lot of people did. I saw everyone blowing it up yesterday.
She sent me. I was so bummed. Like, I'm not a huge Tool fan, but if I could go to see him,
yeah, you are.
I'll go see him. I said a huge Tool fan, not huge Tool. I put the fan.
Okay. Sorry, I misheard you.
No, but she sent me a message at like 6 o'clock or like 4 o'clock last night, whatever. She's like, "You working tonight?" I'm like, "Yeah, I gotta go into work. I work third shift for those of you who don't know." So I was like, "Yeah, I gotta go into work. Why? What's up?" She's like, one of her friends is like, she just gave me 4 tickets to the Tool concert for $15.
Yeah, were they just handing out tickets?
I have no idea.
Because everybody I know, like my buddy Bill Birch, who I didn't get a chance to say his name, so I'll just do that real quick. Also to Jigsaw, Rick Reisler, Courtney Batchelor, Katie Brabenick, and Bill Birch, my buddy.
You know the rest of them were like, hey.
But he was like, dude, you want to go to see Tool? And I'm like, I can't, man, because I had to record for Icons last night. And everybody went to that damn show. Yeah. Like everybody. I've seen so many people blowing that up. So hopefully it was good. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it.
Perfect Circle.
I love A Perfect Circle.
I like them better than Tool, I think.
Yeah.
But I do like older Tools better.
Yeah. Do ya? So listen, spread the word for us. And if you want your name to be mentioned and for us to just
the list
be
is growing, huh?
Yeah, of course.
That's awesome.
We're getting more and more and more amazing people.
That's great.
We're getting more. By the way,
I missed this.
We're getting a lot of new listeners from over in England and so on and so forth. So I'm glad it's spreading over there.
England?
Yes.
Spreading like a disease.
Yes.
Is that inappropriate to say right now?
No, it's over with, isn't it?
Given the, I don't know. I think there's a place that having like huge surges again.
China.
Man.
What is it? Shenzhen?
What?
Shenzhen? I think that's what it is. Just closed down for like a week because of it, which is it's the fourth largest port in the world.
So I feel like, I don't know if it's just simply because there's the sheer amount of people over there that it sounds like very overwhelming.
I think there's 14 million people in that city alone.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, so obviously, yeah, you get a surge over there, it's going to sound even more daunting because there's just so many people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't looked at the numbers and stuff, but I thought that since we're almost into World War III that COVID was done. Is that right?
I think that's how it works.
Is that how it works?
Yeah. And then once this whole thing is over, it'll be something else.
Right. There'll be something else.
It's from one crisis to another.
Right. It seems to be. I mean, that's kind of how it works though, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So in saying that, the positive way of thinking about stuff is just look forward to the next crisis. Right?
Yeah, just know that no matter what happens in life, you're just going to be constantly getting fucked.
And in saying that, thank you so
We're going to leave on a good note.
Yeah, we're going to leave on that one. Thank you guys so much. And listen, thank you so much for hanging and being patient with me. Super sick last week. And
super sick.
I'm still sick if you can't hear it. And I'm still draining. And
you look fucking terrible.
Thanks. I'm feeling a little bit better, but this damn sinus infection has just been brutal, dude.
Yeah.
Brutal. And I thought I could get away and have it just clear up on its own. And it got progressively worse.
Just admit that it's COVID.
It's not COVID.
Just admit it.
No, it's not COVID. I got tested.
That was for something else, dude. Do you think they test for COVID by swabbing your pee-pee?
Wasn't my pee-pee. Anyway, thank you guys for staying and just kind of bearing with me on that one. And Moody's back, and we're gonna keep rocking with this. And of course, Icons and Outlaws, get over there and subscribe to that immediately. It's fun. It's Jeff, Logan, and myself talking about the legends of the music world. So
when is my episode?
When is your legend?
Yeah, no, me.
Your episode about you,
about me.
We'll talk about it. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Oh my God, what am I?
I don't know what you're talking about. I cannot say yes or no to that.
When are you doing one on Erase the Gray?
Not doing one on Erase the Gray. No.
What about Burning Vegas?
Nope.
When do they get one?
None of those.
No?
None of those. However, it's really cool because we get to actually we actually have a lot more input because, Jeff and I have both kind of been there before.
You've never been to the site of a 1946 murder?
I have not.
Oh.
Unfortunately. I hope to one day.
Which would explain your lack of input.
Correct. So stay safe out there, passengers. And as always, choo-choo, motherfuckers!
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Yeah.